I'm not so perfect, baby, yeah, you are. Come right, come right.
Hey guys, according to YouTube, 86% of my viewers are not subscribed. Please consider subscribing today, and I hope you enjoy the video. The number one reason why I think players don't rank up, don't improve, and ultimately quit the game is nothing to do with the game itself, nothing to do with whatever game you play, or how you perform mechanically, or anything like that. I think it all has to do with your mindset and ranked anxiety. Ranked is created in order to hone your skills, play against people your level, and ultimately give you the best experience that the game can offer. And when you feel anxious about that and you don't want to queue up, you stop improving and you sort of level out. Ranked anxiety, to give it a definition, is the fear of losing or playing in a ranked queue and ultimately losing LP or having a bad experience. Bad experience can be social or it can be gameplay wise. Maybe you're lagging, or maybe you're playing a team game where your teammates are flaming you or something and it's just not a good experience. My experience with ranked anxiety stems from, League of Legends. I played for so long, and just teammates are so, if you play League, if you play any online ranked team game, you know how it is. But as far as Street Fighter goes and other single player ranked games like StarCraft, I end up sort of hitting a rank and then I stay there for like a week or two and just play casuals because I'm afraid of losing my rank, right? I'm afraid of losing that precious LP, which is something I'm trying to get over. If you notice in these videos, even right now in this video you're watching, I'm still playing casuals. This isn't ranked. And also, you probably noticed that I'm like 7,668 LP. I'm not very far into plat because I get a little anxious when I play ranked over the points, which is something ultimately I will have to get over, and I'm trying to get over. It's important to get over this anxiety because ranked is your best option to improve and practice the things that you're learning with your mentors or with your training partners in battle lounges and stuff. So this next part of the video, I sort of have a loose script here that I'm following that I wrote up, but it follows a Wikipedia article that talked about ranked anxiety in StarCraft, and I think a lot of it applies to Street Fighter and a lot of it applies to other games too, like League of Legends, Valorant, things like that. So let's go through it real quick. And this is a summarized version. I'll leave the full article in the description if you want to check it out. But basically, ranked anxiety stems from caring too much about your rating. This is way worse in 1v1 games because you're the only person that you can blame for your losses. There's nobody else there. There's no other teammate or anything like that. You are the one to blame. It splits it into 4 different categories here. It says taking away symptoms of anxiety, taking away anxiety itself, taking away the cause of the anxiety, and preventing anxiety from occurring. So let's start with taking away anxiety. It talks about warming up physically and mentally. Physically, I think is very important for fighting games because they're very execution heavy. So warming up your fingers, getting your muscles activated, things like that, doing routines or drills sort of help me. And then taking away anxiety is to calm yourself down before, during, or after a game. This could be meditation, which isn't for everybody, right? Not everybody can meditate. It takes some practice sometimes, and not a lot of people can focus hard enough to meditate. So maybe try something physical like showering or warm bath. And then ultimately, if you feel like you're getting very tilted or very anxious and you just don't want to deal with it at all, play a team game, play something different, play a casual game, play a different game as a whole, you know. Listening to non-vocal music like lo-fi has shown to be better than listening to like just normal music that you might have on, or maybe even no music would help you. But vocals as a whole take away from the game. Even if you aren't paying attention, your mind will try to decipher what it thinks is language, even if it's not a language you don't even know, right? Let's say you're listening to, I don't know, I know I got some weebs out there, maybe you're listening to some anime openings. Even if you're not listening intently to the language, your brain is recognizing that that is a language and it's going to try to decipher it and ultimately take focus away from the game. The next section is taking away the cause of anxiety. So changing the attitude which you approach your gaming session so you no longer become anxious is the point of this section. It's normal to lose, right? You have to accept that you're going to lose. Pros, this is relating to StarCraft, lose 40 to 45% of the time. Which is still less than half, but they still lose, and you have to accept that you are going to lose too. You can't win all the time. losing doesn't mean that you're worse than the opponent, nor does it always mean that you're better, but focus on the part that you are not worse, right? You may lose to a flowchart Ken. You may lose to a dude standing in neutral spamming DP when you're lower ranked because you don't know how to deal with it yet. But the way that you overcome this is going into training mode, going into your replays, and figuring out, you know, I need to block this DP, and then I can punish it, right? Every game is a win-win. You either win and defeat your opponent, or you win by learning something new and growing, right? Don't think of losing as a loss, but think of it as an opportunity to grow. Playing to improve. This is huge, okay? This is the biggest point. If you don't take anything else away from this video, play to improve, but not to rank up. Playing to improve means that sort of goes hand in hand with that win-win situation. You are going to take something away from every game and grow from it, even if you lose, right? Play to improve, and don't worry about your rank, right? Ultimately, this is right. I'm saying this to myself, right? I'm kind of projecting here, but your points don't really mean anything, right? They're online points in a virtual game. Somebody said this to me actually in one of the FGC groups that I'm in. They said, you know, if you're 50,000 LP Grandmaster and you drop 5,000 points, nobody's gonna think that you're any less of a player, right? Because you lost 5,000 virtual points. Ultimately, it's your gameplay that speaks, not your LP. After several losses, you should take a break and come back to it and review your replays. Don't review your replays right after you lose, because you're going to be tilted and you're not going to get anything out of it. You're just going to watch yourself lose again and then get even more angry. Just take a break, play a different game, or do something, eat, I don't know. Just come back to it. Don't play to win. This sounds it sounds bad, right? But don't play to win. Just play for different reasons, right? Think of a reason to play, like fun. I mean, obviously there's a reason to play a game, right? Having fun. But what I did when I sort of was working on playing to not win, but to improve, was when I started playing Karen, I wasn't too good at hit confirms. I was decent at them, but I wanted to get better. So I would focus completely on hit confirming while playing the game. That was it. Hit confirming, and that was it. So if I hit 6 hit confirms, I won the game and I didn't even notice, right? I'm not paying attention to health bars. I'm not paying attention to any win factors. I'm just hit confirming. And eventually, you know, I'd end up winning more. And then playing to have fun. Ultimately, it's a video game. Street Fighter is a video game, and you should have fun playing it. If you're not having fun, then maybe take a break, or maybe figure out why you're not having fun anymore. Think of ranked as practice. It's not a tournament. There's no money involved. It's just practice. That's it. Especially online. I mean, it's practice. There's so many factors that mess with CFN, that like lag or rollback, like one-sided rollback and stuff like that, that you can't. Sometimes you can't take rank seriously, right? If the other guy's teleporting, sometimes I just laugh it off and I let him win, or like I'll just stand still. I don't want to play in that condition. I don't want to upset myself by playing in a condition that I can't control. And then ultimately, the way to take away this cause of anxiety is to keep playing, right? After a few hundred games, you won't feel anxious anymore. You know, when the queue pops and it says, you know, a fight is coming, right? Sometimes you get anxious because you see the little orange banner. But after a few hundred games, you don't feel that anymore. The last section here is preventing anxiety from occurring while playing. So this is huge too. Becoming so focused that there's no room for anxiety. Constantly be thinking of the next step of your plan or analyzing your opponent, right? This is sort of like entering the flow state. If you ever heard of flow state, it's like a very hyper-focused state that a lot of pro players have talked about in the past, where they're just moving to the game and nothing around them is really in their attention span, right? It's only the game, and you have to become so focused and immersed in the game that there's no room for you to feel any sort of nervousness. When you're in the loading screen, you know how it shows the stupid ad or whatever, but then before that, it shows your characters right next to each other, and then what V triggers you have, right? Focus on your matchup and focus what you know about the other character, rather than letting your mind wander, right? This will help you focus when you get into the game. This is something huge that I'm working on too myself, is don't worry about misinputs or execution errors in the moment. You might see in this video in the background, when I mess something up, when I drop a confirm, or when I, you know, empty dash into just standing in front of the jury or the Cody, I sort of reel my head back and I sort of lose focus for a second, right? you can't worry about misinputs or execution errors during the game. It'll only throw you off. Sometimes talking to yourself or thinking out loud can help you. And you probably saw in my last video that thinking out loud is something that I do a lot in battle lounges and when I'm trying to learn a matchup, because it helps me whenever I watch the VOD or even whenever I'm by myself. Sometimes I'll do it because it helps me sometimes. Those are, I think, all the steps that I took from the article. If you want to read the entire article, like I said, it's in the description below. Please check it out. If this is something that you suffer from, something that you're worried about, just remember that it's a game and these are virtual points, and that ultimately you just want to get better at the game. I hope you enjoyed. Please consider subscribing, like, comment, all that, and thank you so much. Have a great day.